Here is the culprit count for this book. The culprit count for the entire series so far is this. And here's the end of book killer count. Miss Scarlet has killed Mr. Body as many times as all the other characters combined. Wow.
Argofunk Book Review, Argofunk Book Review.
Case 1, someone is pranking people with fake bugs. The prankster is always sitting to the left of their victim. I didn't like this case. The idea is that you have to reread the story carefully. You use context clues to figure out where everyone is seated in relation to each other, and you have to account for the fact that people switch places several times. That could have been tricky. But the very first clue is Plum was seated to the left of Mrs. Peacock, so we know Plum is the culprit. The first clue gives it away. Maybe they were trying to start the book on an easy note. Case 2. The group decides to form a book club with weapons, because reading with weapons is the kind of activity that keeps these violent maniacs happy. White wants to read mysteries with her gun. Plum wants to read science fiction with the lead pipe. Green wants a thriller with a knife. A man wants a western with the rope. Scarlet wants a romance with a candlestick. Peacock wants a biography with the wrench. The biography is super boring. It has long and drawn-out life story in the title, which is funny. So the mystery lover and thriller lover decide to kill Peacock. They accidentally switch weapons, and Peacock is shot. Who did it? Green shot her with White's gun. It's easy enough to solve this case if you took good notes. Case 3, the men dress up in disguises. They are a gorilla, a clown, and a knight. Scarlet guesses that the knight is green, the clown is mustard, and Plum is the gorilla. All three of her guesses are wrong, and we learn the knight is not mustard. Who is who? I love this kind of logic puzzle. Mustard is not the clown or knight, so he's the gorilla. That means Green and Plum are the knight and clown. Green isn't the knight, so he's the clown. Case 4. Body hid a valuable jewel inside a chocolate because he is weird like that. They fight like mad over the chocolates and the jewel. White has the revolver, Scarlet has the pipe, Mustard has the candlestick, and Peacock has the knife. Scarlet knocks out White, but Scarlet collapses from a chocolate overdose. Green has the rope, but Candlestick knocks him out, but Knife knocks Candlestick out, and Revolver shoots everyone who's not unconscious. Who did it? Again, the very first clue gives the solution away. Since the culprit had the revolver, the culprit is White. You can keep track of who knocked out who and when, but that's unnecessary. Case 5. Mr. Body has a $1 million fish, which everyone tries to steal. Green steals it, but Scarlet knocks him out with a rope. A woman with a knife robs Scarlet. A man who's not Plum robs her. Peacock robs him with a wrench, and the final guest takes the fish. Who is it? Since there are 3 women, the unnamed woman must be White. Therefore, not Plum and the final guest are both male. Plum cannot be not Plum, so he's the final guest. Case 6. Everyone except Peacock goes for a joyride in Mr. Body's Bentley. White drives the car, with Grin in the passenger seat. In the back, Scarlet's in between Plum and Mustard. Green switches with White, everyone changes seats, so nobody is where they were seated before, and all of that information is totally irrelevant to the puzzle solution. So here's the real information. Once everybody switches seats, Mustard's in the passenger seat, Plum has a window seat, Mustard is next to a woman, White is next to Green, who refuses to be in the middle. Who is the driver? The driver is a woman because Mustard is both in the passenger seat and next to a woman. This woman is not White because she's next to Green, therefore she is Scarlet. I thought up an alternate solution. Everyone got a new seat halfway through. White can't be the woman driver because that doesn't count as her having a new seat. Therefore Scarlet's the driver. I like my solution better because it means the first half of the story isn't irrelevant. Case 7. Everyone is camping in a tent which matches their color. White switches with Mustard. Plum goes to the tent closest to the fire. White snores. Scarlet goes into Plum's tent. Green goes into Scarlet's tent and snores. The person in the yellow tent leaves with the person closest to the fire. The person in the white tent puts on earplugs. Scarlet steals a muffler from someone, who goes on to kill a snoring guest. Who killed who? It's tough to keep track of what you're keeping track of, because we've got colored tents, weapons, the tent locations, who snores, and who can hear things. The culprit is not Scarlet because she robbed the killer, it's not Plum or White who left, and it's not Mustard who used earplugs. That leaves Peacock and Green as killer and victim. The victim snored, so Green is the victim and Peacock is the killer. Case 8. Peacock is in the conservatory when someone destroys the window from outside. Green says he's innocent, Mustard accuses Peacock. Plum says Green is innocent, Scarlet accuses Green. Only one of them is telling the truth. Who broke the window? Green. Plum and Green gave the same statement, and there's only one truth teller, so they're both lying when they say Green's innocent. You can stop solving the puzzle there, but the book goes on to say Mustard lied about Peacock, so therefore Scarlet's the truth teller. She said Green is guilty, so that's why we know Green is guilty. Case 9. Mr. Body will give $50,000 to the person who arrives at his house at the stroke of midnight. Our heroes are idiots, so they make complicated travel plans instead of showing up early and waiting. I'm not kidding, Peacock shows up 10 minutes early. She could easily get the money if she waited a bit, but instead she rings the doorbell and immediately disqualifies herself. What an idiot! Everyone's travel plans get ruined. Peacock arrives 10 minutes early. Mustard and Plum arrive 5 minutes early. Scarlet drops her lipstick. She looks for it for 10 minutes, while Mustard looks for it for 5 minutes. Green takes 10 minutes to move his car and reset his car alarm, while Plum spends an unknown period of time looking for his hat. Who was on time? Colonel Mustard. The 5-minute delay looking for Scarlet's lipstick cancels out him arriving 5 minutes early. And yeah, it's crazy that Scarlet could have gotten a ton of money, but oops, she lost her lipstick, so she spent all that time looking for lipstick. She thinks that's more important than money. Case 10. On a rainy day, White has rain boots while Plum has slippers. Everybody grabs a weapon while leaving the room. Scarlet's weapon flashes. Peacock has a revolver. White gets a glinting metal weapon. Mustard gets a blunt metal weapon. Plum gets a shiny weapon. And Green grabs the rope. Body hears shoes on the ground before he's killed. He writes down Fechin Riley Bar. Who did it? Miss Scarlet. Fechin Riley Bar is an anagram for knife and library. Mr. Body, it's not helpful for you to waste your dying moments writing down your current location. Everybody already knows you died in the library. That's where they found your body. Well, the murder weapon is the knife, so the killer must be Scarlet, White, or Plum. White and Plum did not have shoes, so they're innocent. The end. Postbook follow-up. The last case was the clue in the shadows. There was no clue in the shadows. Body sees the shadow of the culprit's arm on the wall seconds before he's stabbed, but that doesn't really count as a clue. Interestingly enough, Mr. Body solves cases 1, 6, and 8. Normally he's an idiot, but I guess that today, he's very good at solving puzzles where you have to decipher people's statements. This book was okay. I like the fish one and the car one. Those were really funny mysteries. I didn't really like the first mystery, though. That one was, nah, that's why I complained about it. Well, also the book reading mystery was a good one, too. So, I give clue number 8, The Clue in the Shadows, a thumbs up.